So stick around for that. And back to our reality check on the proposals to solve the debt crisis this week. The House will vote on a Republican plan that involves changing the U.S. Constitution to solve the debt crisis. The bill is called Cut, Cap, and Balance, CCB. It would allow the debt ceiling to be raised so long as there are short-term cuts in spending. It would require long-term spending caps be put in place over the coming years, and then the balance part represents a so-called balanced budget amendment. I'm joined now live by Shira Toeplitz, a political reporter for Roll Call. Shira, thanks for sticking around and being here with us. What's the likelihood that this solution, when it hits the floor on Tuesday, will pass here?
You know what, I'm going to say not very likely at all. If I were going to shake that congressional magic 8-ball, I'd say try again later, try something else again later. Look, Democrats who control the Senate are not a fan of the balanced budget amendment. Republicans in the Senate who do not have the majority have signed on to the proposal, and obviously House Republicans are backing the proposal. They're bringing up a vote on it next week, but it's just very unlikely it's going to pass.
Why is it being pushed forward then?
It's very much a symbolic thing, actually. Republicans, especially many of these Tea Party-backed Republicans in the House, want to be able to say that they took a vote on this, that they did everything they could to pass a balanced budget amendment. It's important for them, for when they go home and talk to voters in their districts, that they say that they did what they were elected to do last fall, and that's to get the country in fiscal shape in their mind.
So, Shira, they'll get on the record with that, but how far back will they take a retreat as the issue gets debated further and further, or will they just stand strong on this issue and vote no all the way through?
You know, that's the $64,000 question here. It's really a battle between Democrats and House Republicans, and that's basically been the theme of this Congress, because House Republicans have such a huge majority in that chamber. So we don't know how much. It's been kind of a moving target, what they'll take throughout the debates. We don't know what the final deal is going to look like. It's really a jump ball at this point. It's
like $64 million, isn't it, Shira?
Yes.
And, you know, amending the Constitution.
Or trillion, even.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well throw that in, trillion. Amending the Constitution, the balanced part of the CCB, that takes a while, doesn't it? And just to, you know, drill down on just a little bit, we've only got till August 2nd, so we've been told.
Right. My understanding of the Cut, Cap, and Balance bill is they intend to try to pass this thing. I don't think it'd be possible to ratify this. Maybe you've looked around your office. A lot of people are on vacation right now. It's the same thing with state legislatures around the country. And in order to amend the Constitution, you need 3/4 of the states to approve of this. All these state legislatures are on vacation. They are not in session right now. It would be nearly impossible to bring all of them in, or at least enough of them in, to pass something, even if they wanted to do it.
Sure, I want to get your response to this. I spoke with GOP Congressman Reed Ribble yesterday, who's on the Budget Committee, and this is what he said about the amendment.
What Congress has proven over the last 60 years is that they have very little restraint. All we're asking for, quite simply, is let's go ahead and turn it back to the states, right to the American people, and let them weigh in. I'm not exactly certain what people are afraid of, that maybe the American people will say, yes, we want the government to live within its means just like our state governments have to.
So maybe not by August 2nd, but clearly Congressman Ribble saying that the U.S. voter has some interest in this. Maybe should it be considered later on, outside of this deadline that we're currently underneath?
I mean, perhaps. I think Congressman Ribble has a point that many states actually have their own equivalent of a balanced budget amendment. They have constitutional provisions within their own states that says they cannot spend more money than they take in. But that's also known politically. What he just said is passing the buck. If Congress can pass this balanced budget amendment and then just pass the buck on to the states, well, if the states don't pass it, Congress can throw up their hands and say, oh, that wasn't our fault. We did everything we could.
All right. Talking about political cover again, Shira Toeplitz, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Great to be here, Richard.
You bet. The debt is topic number